Okay, a few of you had asked me about the personal ethical theory. And my intention was this, that you are finally getting the opportunity to write your own theory. And there are two reasons I want you to do this. One, you have been critiquing, and in general, what people mean by critiquing is what we see on television where people just criticize and humiliate each other. I don't want you to do that. As philosophers, as critical thinkers, what we are trying to do is we want to find out what's good about a theory and what's bad about a theory, because we want to find out what really is the best for human beings. I always equate it to fixing a car. You can have a theory about fixing the car, but practically, if you apply your theory to fixing the car and it doesn't run, your theory is no good. And so the idea is that we're all coming together trying to find the problems, and we're working to see what really makes a person excellent. That was Aristotle's theory, that was Plato's theory, that's Kant's theory, utilitarian. What makes people excellent? And what makes for an excellent society? That's a really important thing. So your theory is going to pinpoint those things, and there's 5 of them that I put on there that you really need to consider. Those 5 things that will make you excellent. You have to consider those in theory. So you're really kind of putting yourself out there and saying, this is how I think people would be excellent if they were to do X, Y, and Z. If in your paper you try to tell me that everything is relative, and that's garbage, and I'll state why it's garbage. It's garbage because nobody actually lives like that. They say things like, well, everything is relative, and as long as you don't hurt anybody, then you can do whatever you want. Well, you can do whatever you want is a relative theory, but not hurting anybody is a standard that you set up. And immediately, once you set up a standard and say that's right or wrong, relativism goes out the window. A true relativist, somebody who is invested in being a relativist, especially in layman's terms, a relativist is someone who doesn't make any claims about anything and allows people to do whatever they want to. The only time that you are in the wrong would be if you were a hypocrite. You're actually doing something that you say you shouldn't do. But once again, you can't make those kinds of claims. You just have to let everybody do what they want to do, period, even if it imposes on you. That's why I always think that it's really difficult to be a relativist. What people are currently is they don't want to say that there's any such thing as right or wrong unless it directly affects them. It doesn't make you a relativist, it just makes you an egoist in the end. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about what would make an excellent society and what would make for excellent people. We certainly seem to think that there are standards when it comes to behavior, standards when it comes to education, standards when it comes to exercise. I mean, these are things that make a person better than they are. And there seems to be some kind of work ethic that goes into that. So you're going to be making your own theory. You're going to really kind of go out on a limb here and say, this is what I think would make for an excellent person in an excellent society, and then back it up with reasons why. Why does that make a person excellent? What about that? Aristotle says it's virtue. Why? Because you're working for it. Everything that is gained in labor is worthwhile. You can go ahead and follow on the coattails, but you have to have something original in there that is actually your theory. So this is your chance to be creative and original, and it's getting late, so you really want to move on this. All right. So I hope that helps you. If not, let me know. A second thing too, I want to note, some of you have difficulties on the quizzes. Remember, I'm dropping one, but they are not your general run-of-the-mill quizzes, and there's a reason for that. This is philosophy. This is critical thinking. I'm not just trying to find things in the book that you go back to and you repeat to me. That's just being a very smart parrot. Critical thinking means that you understand the concept of the theory, and you can actually figure out why, in instances, why that would be wrong or right, or if they would agree or disagree. And that's the point of that type of quiz. All right, so hope that helps.